Alright everybody, you're probably thinking, no he didn't, but yes I did. I have another programmer. Going to do another video. Not too long ago, probably about a month or so, I had picked up this BK843, also known as an All-Max Plus, from eeTools, and I did a video on that. I've had this BK864, which is a rebranded programmer from Elnec, ELNEC, from Slovakia, and I've done a video on that. And recently this BK845, which is the big brother of the 843, came up and I snagged it. It is a parallel port programmer like most of the older ones are, and it is rebranded BK Precision, rebranded eeTools TopMax. So this is actually identical to eeTools TopMax, and it was sold, around up till about 2008 for around $800 or so, around the 2008 time frame. Software was supported up to around October of 2014, and I'll get into that version. And you can still download the latest software for the TopMax. And I think it has a DOS version too that was updated in like 2001. But I don't know if there's any differences in support of chips. I would imagine not, but who knows. And you can remove this little adapter here and put in different modules to do like TSOPs and other types of chip form factors. But really, the only one I'm worried about is the DIP48. So it's got that going for it. It has 48 pins, which is something I look for. It also has 48 pin drivers, I'm pretty sure, just like the 864, and I'm pretty sure just like the All-Max. So All-Max Plus, TopMax, and then this BK is a different manufacturer, but it looks very similar. It's almost like Elnec kind of copied eeTools a little bit in kind of how their form factor looks and their design, like the curved front. Isn't that kind of interesting? It has an integrated power supply, which is kind of nice, as long as it works, obviously. And I think this is like a connection where you can actually use this to in a module for developers, where you can, instead of burning new EEPROMs, it has like an EEPROM, not simulator, I guess, but it basically simulates like an EEPROM. And you can just like write directly to it and just plug that module into your board that you're working on for code. Not important for us anyway. So I'm not going to crack it open. I think there's somebody who did a quick video of what the inside looks like. I will link to that video here. But I have some chips to program, so let's take it to the bench, plug it in, make sure it works, and do a little bit of an overview of the software, and burn some bipolar proms. I need to burn at least one bipolar prom, if not more, with this unit. So, alright, that is it, I think. Did I cover everything? Yes. Okay, I have it on my little programming bench here, and we are running Windows XP. Now, that, like I said, it does have DOS software that it should work with, but I'm running it on Windows XP with the Windows software. I'm just going to hit the power supply. Got a power button, a slight little busy light. I don't know, doesn't look like there's a little self-test thing going on there. Let's see here. And my dog's barking in the background, but what we want to do is we want to hit this max loader. And let's see, does it tell me that it connected to a program device at all? No idea. We are running max loader for Windows Rev 4.7. Now, I will show a screenshot here real quick. Hold on. This is a screenshot from the Wayback Machine where it says MaxLoader 48H zip file from 3615 did support the TopMax. TopMax 2 obviously came later, ChipMax 2 came later, etc. I'm not really worried about Univacs and stuff. They can't do as many chips. So really, TopMax is really what we're looking for. I wouldn't recommend getting ChipMax because it doesn't do as many EEPROM types and chips and stuff. I would stick with the TopMax solution there. But I just found it interesting. Supposedly, there is a 4.8 version out there that should support TopMax. I just couldn't find it. Alright, so hopefully you can see everything in the screen at least. So we're running 4.7 and we want to, it says software revision 4.7, hardware revision 2.0. There's my serial number of the hardware device. So I assume that it did detect it, and it just picked up the last chip that I had programmed. If we go to config, select product, see, we can choose like TopMax 2 or something like ChipMax or something, and then it says could not find programming module ChipMax, you're in demo mode. So then we go to config, select product, TopMax, whoop, and then it just says done, and then selected the chip again. That's what it looks like anyway. Kind of interesting. You can run this in demo mode, which is kind of useful for trying to figure out what kind of chips it supports and stuff from what version of software. Let's do a hardware test. Let's go to test logic, pull up, pull down, voltage peak, VCC, ground relays, etc. And you can almost hear it in the background. It's testing the drivers, the pin drivers. You can hear the relays firing and stuff. It says everything passed. So we have a good programmer, which is good, because I purchased this off of eBay untested, so who knows if it was going to work or not. Now, I do like the software. It's pretty simple. All of them are pretty much the same, but it's easy to see, easy to browse. You can edit your buffer, for example, fill your buffer, etc. Everything you would expect to do. You can test ICs, so you can test different 7400 chips. So this is very similar to my BK864. Doesn't have a ton of chips available, but you can also load, I think, different gosh, what do you call it now? Not JEDEC files, but whatever you want to call these files here that basically have, whether it's high or low. I don't know why I can't think of it right now, but you can test TTL chips, which is nice. Has an auto find feature. You can change your voltage. Yeah, and then I think you can even, I can't remember, there's some way you can load the different algorithms or whatever, the testing files to this as well. And then from a device standpoint, what I'm most interested in is selecting a device. I always like it when you just can type in something like 82S123, and you can see it comes up with Philips, so it can do BPROMs. If I do AMD, it'll bring up all of our AMD MMI stuff. Let's see here. Most of those are PALs. Let's see what our AMD is. 2732s. Should be a 27S. Or you can even say, show me all AMD proms. And so these are all your bipolar proms that AMD made. Or I can clear that out and just look at all the proms. Which ones are Russian? Not familiar with these. Have no idea what those are. Are those Tesla? Those are DIP 24s. Here's some National Semiconductor 74S. There's some DIP 16s in there. As you can see, can we sort on that? Sure can. That's pretty useful. So very easy to explore and find what bipolar proms. Mostly AMD, Intel. Where's my Intel? Not Intel, Philips. Philips Signetics. AMD, Fujitsu. Is there any DIP 16s in here? No. Philips and AMD, I think, are your, and maybe National Semiconductor. Yeah. These are going to be most of the ones that we would use, like 74S 288 or 287, for example. So those are some of the B proms. We can do PLDs. Let's look at Philips or Signetics Philips. PLS 153, that's our pole position PLA right there, or PLA. As an example, it does PALs. Does that have the PALs on here? I'm pretty sure. All device. PAL. Yeah, you can see PAL 16s, etc. So various PALs and B proms and 2532. We do Texas Instruments. There's our 2532. Does it do 2516s? Probably yes. Let's see. That's the same as a 2716. But does it do a Texas Instrument 2716? Probably not, because that's a tri-voltage chip. What? Says it does a... Oh, that's interesting. Says it does a Texas Instrument 2716. That's tri-voltage. I'm a little bit shocked about that. No 2708s. Yeah, no 2708s. I'm a little shocked about the 2716 thing from Texas Instrument. Let's select that thing. Info on 2716 just says it's, I don't know, I'm having my doubts on this thing. It says VPP is 23 volts. We know it's 25 volts. That's another thing that's kind of interesting here, is it might not go all the way up to 25, but maybe it doesn't. For some reason, it just says 23 volts. Config option. Let's go to device. Change algorithm. Yeah, this 27 TMS 2716JL. I wonder if it can actually do these or not. That's kind of fascinating to me. It is nice that you can change the voltage here, so you can change the programming algorithm. You can change like the pulse width, you know, what your read and read write VCC is, whether you do it at 5.5 or 5, you know, 4.5, etc. So here it's basically just saying 5 volts based off of how it's configured in the system. But I like the fact that you can change the algorithm. And I think that's all I wanted to show. Let me go ahead and burn some chips with this thing. Man, that I need to see if I have a Texas TI 2716. Very interesting. Alright, so I couldn't find a 2716 to test that. I have 2708s from, like what, Space Invaders or Asteroids Deluxe or something? I don't know. Missile Command. I have a whole bunch of 2708s that I could test, but no 2716. So, anyway, I need to burn Dell from Delusionals Arcade some proms for Pac-Man and Chomp Chomp, and I have one 82S123. Oh, you can't see that right there. Maybe, can you see that? I have no idea. But an equivalent is that AMD 27S19. So I'm actually going to device select a 27S19, and this is the bad boy we want right there. I don't think it's an A. I don't know what the difference is of A is or not, but we're going with that one right there. And we need to load a file, and we're going to load. Where the heck am I going to load? Where's my desktop? Right here. Share documents. Pack and chomp right there. And the file we need is 4C right there. I think this is the sound, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. 4C? I don't remember. But that's the one we want. 4C. I hate when it does this. I like looking at all the details and everything. So you can see 4C, boom, 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 open. Alright. And I'm going to put the chip in a second. Alright, there's our 27S19. I don't know if I got these from China or where the heck I got them from. Putting it in our little tester, and let's blank check it. It says blank check OK, and we programmed it. So you can see over here it says algorithm specialized. VCCP is 5.4 volts, so that's the VCC programming voltage, and then the programming voltage itself is 20 volts, 60 microseconds pulse width. That's to blow the fuses. So that is 4C, and we just burnt a Prom using this system. So that is the, unfortunately, all my 82. Let's see here. Let's see if we can focus on this. So these are the chips that I need to program. 4E, 3L, 3M, and for Pack and Chomp. And I think I only have Tesla brands for this, and this programmer does not program Tesla 82S129s or whatever, 288s or something like that. I can't remember what the equivalent is for Tesla. So I have to put my BK864 back in, but it will program 82S129s. I just happen to not have that Signetics version or the equivalent AMD. If I did, I would burn those. I'll look actually. Alright, so unfortunately I can't program any more proms that I need to program. That's my furnace kicking on. That's kind of annoying. But I can do some blank checks like I was doing here. And I do like the fact that it's pretty easy. You guys can see that. This is a TMS 27C020. And so you can just go in here, hit select, type in TMS 27C020. Bam, Texas Instruments. Right there, DIP 32. Press OK. Gives you your programming algorithm. Says algorithm, snap, 6.5 volts VCCP, 13 volts VPPP. I can hit info, shows me what devices support that chip. Can I do anything else? Device info, change algorithm, auto menu option. Yeah, nice. So let's go ahead and stick that in. Hit blank check. It says it's okay. Let's read it into buffer. Yep, all F's. So nothing, it's all empty, as you can see there. So I mean, this software is pretty decent, I would say. I have no complaints. Let's try this. I think HN something. HN. The Hitachi 46 27 32. Yeah, Hitachi right there. Is it a G? I'm not sure if it's a G or not. This is a G. I don't know if there's any difference. 5 volts, 25 volt programming. Let's blink check it. It has some data on it, so let's read it. Alright, let's save that file to just do a test. And I can then load that onto ROM ident. I don't know if this computer actually is connected to the internet. Usually I have my XP computer, disconnected from the internet. So anyway, I can do that later, just to see what it was. That one's not obviously blank. So I guess the long and short of it is this is an excellent programmer, especially if you can find it, $150 or less. I did get this pretty decent price, and I will pass it on to some fellow arcade collector so that they can program their own proms and PLAs and gals and stuff. And I do think it's better than having one of these older programmers than like a GQ4XX or something like this. I like the TL866 for what it is, but in the arcade hobby, I find the older parallel port programmers with 48-pin DIP, right? And having the pin drivers and the software that programs bipolar proms, or at least reads bipolar proms. It can't program all of them like Harris and some of the older ones, but it can do like the AMD, the Signetics, and usually I think the Fujitsu ones. Most of these parallel programmers can do that because the voltage doesn't need to be higher than 25 volts, or in this case it's doing 23 volts, but it's obviously enough to program it. I guess that's it. Do I have anything else I want to say? No. The only reason I'm not using it again is because these Tesla chips do have a different programming algorithm. The only programmer that I'm aware of is the LNEC that programs these Teslas. And the Teslas are cheaper. I think, what are they? Something 74S287s. They are the same as a 82S129, except for they do not program the same, and they do not program the same as a national normal 74S287. So if you tried to program them, you probably will ruin the chip. I'm not going to demonstrate it, but it does not program like a national semiconductor 74S287. Actually, let's look that up real quick. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to risk it. Let's see here. Device. Select. 74S287. Yes. See, national semiconductor. I don't know. It says specialized. Let's select again. It says 10.5 volts. Let's see what the A version does. It's the same, so I don't know. Not worth risking it. I'm going to put my BK864 on there because I do know it programs these Teslas, which I'm almost 99% sure is a different programming algorithm than the normal national semiconductor 74S287, blah, blah, blah. So with that, I will end this video. It's another programmer, BK845, also known as the TopMax. This or the TopMax 2, which is also really nice but more expensive. But if you can find one of these and you have a Windows XP parallel port, this is probably, I keep saying this is probably the second best. I honestly would probably be fine with just this and not my BK864, but I got the 864 before this. So This is a really nice programmer. It doesn't require external power supply. Everything's integrated. I like that a lot. So if you can find one, get one. 845 or the TopMax. All right, everybody. Cheers.